and he looks up. How did they see that I was sleeping? How did they see that I was sleeping? He won't even know because of the application of the software. If people are loitering around the warehouse, you could call his attention to, oh, I discovered that people are walking around the facility. What's going on? Who is that person that has just gained entry into the warehouse? Who authorized? Why do we have this number of goods leaving the warehouse now? What you are supposed to close by this time, but it is saying that you are still within the warehouse by this period of time. Can you explain? So these are softwares that helps you to do what? Optimize the whole process. All How many times does he come to the office? When does he even come to the office? The demand forecasting. Okay, what is the demand in the next 5 months? In the next 6 months? Why should we have more production on this particular product? Is it that the demand is high? Are we projecting, are we forecasting large demand in the next 5 months? These are things that help you. And order fulfillment workflow within the warehouse, the processes of what they document before a particular product or good is being released. So, warehouse management systems are important as they eliminate manual processes. Manual processes is done with guesswork, I guess. Eh, how many do you? What is the quantity of product? I guess it is. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure because Mr. Ndubisi requested for 50 cartons yesterday, and out of the 50, they returned 11. I'm not really sure. Or maybe give and take, give and take. We should be having up to 200 cartons. That is guesswork. But with the implementation of the software system on ground, all that is what eliminated. In the comfort of my house, wherever I am in the car, I can track the total number of products available, what left, what time, who authorized, and who received. As easy as anything. The manual process of um, having to carry books up and down, running from one office to another is eliminated, and instead streamlined process that save time. Those times that you say, our guy is not around to sign, those times are over. Oga can be anywhere in the world and sign a document and send it back to you. Why? Because of the application of softwares, right? So it also provides a more accurate snapshot of what's going on inside a facility without needing to conduct continuous warehouse audit. So I don't need to go, paying for a consultant, paying for an auditor to come and give me a comprehensive audit as to what is happening within the facility. Why? I have all the information on my fingertips. I can develop on my own a comprehensive summary of what is happening within the warehouse because of what? The application of the software that we are deploying. So, what exactly happens in an e-commerce business warehouse? What exactly happens in an e-commerce business warehouse? So, in order to master your warehouse management, you need to be familiar with the functions, activities, and processes you are managing. What is the function? What is the function? What are the activities? And what are the processes? What how many level of or line of authorities do I need to go through before a particular product is, you know, released from the warehouse? What are the functions of a warehouse manager? Apart from his functions, what are his daily activities? Please, can you mute your mic, please?
You understand? Hosting.
Please mute your mic. So we talk about 8 key warehouse management processes. Number one is what is receiving. Before any other activities can take place, a business needs to get inventory into its warehouse. Like we said at the beginning, we have procured materials. Can I have the document for delivery? Can I have the invoices? Can I have the LPOs? So that I will be able to cross-check and know what I am receiving. Because once I receive and it is signed, it shows that I've consented to everything that they brought in. I am fully okay. I am satisfied representing the interest of the organization. What I signed means that the organization also signed. What if, in my naiveness, in my nonchalant attitude, in my lazy state, I signed something that was not brought into the warehouse? And they tell you, sorry, you signed. It means that you everything we brought in was absolutely correct, in the right order, in the right quantity, in the right shape. You signed it. How will you defend yourself? So in receiving, warehouse staff receive inventory of freight from trucks at loading dock and count the unit to ensure that they've been sent the correct amount. It's not a guesswork. It's not something that you say, okay, we cannot. Are you sure it's complete? Of course, are we doing business for the first time? It's complete. Are you sure? It's complete. I'm telling you, it's complete. Oh yeah, pack it inside the warehouse. Just by a word of I is complete, and you believe it, and you move it into the warehouse. Upon cross-checking, you discover that you have been cheated. What will you do? All the paperwork have been signed. So we need to also inspect the condition of the goods and document that the inventory had been received in good condition, the right shape, and what have you. So that is the number one key processes. Receiving is very important. That is where it all starts. That is where it all starts. We talk about put away. So once the inventory had been confirmed to be correct, what next you do is for you to put them away, knowing fully well that they are in good condition. So warehouse put away is a process of transporting inventory from the receiving area to the correct storage facility. When products come, they are not taken directly into the warehouse, right? They are dropped somewhere, kept somewhere for confirmation and reconfirmation. It is upon the confirmation level that you now do what? Put away. Meaning that you are moving it from this location to the warehouse because everything had been what ascertained to be okay, right? Everything is okay. So we talk about inventory storage. So you will almost like, you know, need to store inventory within your warehouse for at least a little while before orders come in. Sometimes we keep products we buy in anticipation based on forecasting that this product will eventually go out. So we take inventory of such products. So the e-commerce businesses will store inventory on warehouse racks in pallets or bins, right? If you go to a particular, some places where you see um, products being transported into the country, taken to the warehouse, you will see that they are always loaded in pallets. Why? They do not want the product to, touch the floor for the duration of how long the product is going to stay. Because when it touches the floor, there's tendency that it might get soaked. And you do not necessarily know what is inside the carton that is not water friendly. So it has to be what? It has to be put either on racks or on pallet just to ensure safety of such product. This is a typical warehouse. Look at some of the softwares that is being used just to ensure that there's proper control, proper monitoring of everything that goes on within the warehouse. If you have some of these sophisticated equipment, how will your warehouse not be optimized? How will the goals and objectives not be attained? There's no way. There's no way. This is how the warehouse looks. These are some of the appliances that is being used. They perform different functions just for efficiency, for effectiveness, for optimization of what you want to achieve. The next one is picking. So as soon as an order is confirmed, of course, it is processed, it is time to pick inventory from shelf. Okay, somebody had requested for XYZ. You go to shelf B, you pick it, you go to shelf C, you pick it, you go to shelf D, you pick it. Why? As a result of the what? As a result of the request that is made. That is the picking process. Okay? That is the picking process. Now, can somebody talk on packing? Why is packing very important as far as the warehousing is involved? What are some of the advantages of packing and disadvantages of packing? Anybody, please. Anybody can speak.
Hello, good evening all.
Good
Hello.
evening, sir. You can go on. You can go on, sir. We can hear you.
Okay, packaging is very, very important because this is the process of sending the material received into the warehouse to the various end users. And in doing this, a proper packaging, labeling, and documentation must be carried out so that we'll be able to send the good in a good condition to the end users. And is doing this. Hello? Hello? Are you
We are
hearing me?
listening. We are listening. We are listening, sir. Please go ahead.
And in doing this, we have various packaging systems and we have various labels that we need to use. And we either use sometimes containers in moving most of those materials. It depends if you are shipping those materials through the sea, or maybe you are taking it through helicopter or through plane or through vehicle. And someone too, just like in the warehouse, each my warehouse, we identify people that are into such packaging. And the reason for that is that when they do that, all their documentation must be carried out. So that we want to know, when you pick, let's say you have about 8 items. When you pick 4 out of the 8, you want to ensure that you document it. So that during word-to-word count, we should be able to know that so date 4 items were moved out of the 8 items we have on so shelf. And that is the reason. And the proper packaging too must be done. Either you wrap it because of rain or because of the weather. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for that. Any other person? Any other contribution? Let's talk. Let's talk. Any other contribution?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, I want to add to his contribution. Actually, before packing is done, you have done the picking already. And I believe that
Yes.
all documentation on the items that have been picked should have been done before this stage. There should be a designated officer responsible for packing. It's technical because there are breakables, there might be items that are delicate, there might be. So the one that is packing, we know the materials that the way they are supposed to be packaged for transportation purpose. So I think that's my take on this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Okay, one more person. Blessing, are you there? Okay, pharmacist, as
that you won't run loss, because when you deliver a broken goods to a client or a customer, they are going to return it, and then it's going to be at the loss of the logisticians. So it is very essential to at least to package our goods very well.
thank you very much for your insight. Thank you for that. When we talk about the packaging, like we said, once a product is picked, right?
I did not join us.
Once the product is picked, the order has been processed, the product is picked, the next thing is being what? Handed over to the packer. Now,
Have you seen that
the
dish?
way Can you mute your mic, please? Or I will allow you to speak for 30 minutes. Thank you. Once this is being addressed, processed, I can tell you that efficient packaging brings about visibility of the organization. It brings about what? Visibility to the organization. What do I mean by that? Sometimes people fall in love just because of packaging, right? People fall in love because of what? Because of packaging. Not really understanding or knowing what is in there, but they are being captured by what? The packaging of such products. So for every organization, it is very important that their packaging is done in such an efficient manner that attracts the customer's interest. Like somebody said, we pack for certain reasons. Okay? For every product that we have, there's a peculiar way of what? Of packaging such products because of how the product is. You cannot package a fragile product just anyhow. No. You cannot package, let's say, perishable items anyhow. So we must understand that even the packaging department must be trained on how to package different products based on what the peculiarity of such products. So this means securely placing the items in a box or polymailer, adding, in any needed packaging materials and putting a shipping label on it. When you are packaging, every necessary information is carried alongside. The reason for that is you package and you are giving to the logistics department. Their responsibility is to do what? Is to ensure that the details on that package is followed to the letter. And if you, as the packer, you mislead them by giving false address, false phone number, false name, it means that such will be what? Will be returned. You get to a location after spending so many hours, and you get there, you call the person and say, sorry, it's a wrong number. It's a wrong number. It has to be traced back to the company where the product was being packaged. So it brings visibility to the organization. It also brings about customer retention. It also brings about customer retention. Like I said, there are people that just, I just like the way this thing is being packaged. I just like it. Don't you see how well packaged it is? Don't you see the color that is used in packaging it? Don't you see how neat it is? Don't you see how appealing? They just, for no reason, just like the packaging. Some people will gain customers just at the sight of seeing the way they package their product. So we talk about shipping, that based on delivery, once this is done, the next thing is for you to do what? Is for you to package. For you to ship it. Wherever Mr. Pharmacist Azan is, my responsibility is shipping the product that he has ordered for to his destination. I can decide to use DHL. I can decide to use USPS. I can decide to use FedEx. I can decide to use UPS and any other, wherever he can pick up. The reason for using some of these logistics companies is because they have a very organized warehouse system. DHL will never make a mistake that a product that is supposed to go to Kaduna ends up maybe in Ibadan. No, they are meticulous about their operations. They are keen at delivering quality service to the customers. So I'd rather use such than using someone or another warehouse where there is mixed up everywhere. You can't really tell where your product will end at the end of the day. So we need to do what? Use a warehouse that is functional. So we talk about slotting. Some warehouse functions are not part of the supply chain, but it impacts its efficiency and what performance. So slotting, therefore, we could say that it is the process of organizing a warehouse to maximize space and what efficiency. Things are not scattered all around. We want to maximize space. Okay? Sometimes when you do proper slotting, you'll be amazed at the space that is available for use. You won't even know that you have such space available. But once you imbibe the culture of slotting, you will see it at the end of the day. Right? So this can be achieved by careful planning of the warehouse layout, the structural design, the location of the facility. Can we make it horizontal? Can it be vertical? Why should we make it straight line? Why should we make it in batches? We need to understand. Is it as a result of space? So slotting is part of the game. Then we talk about the last one, which is what? Reporting. That a warehouse management system should provide out-of-the-box operational and inventory report across the warehouse. There must be what? Reporting. 360 degrees reporting. 360 degrees feedback. So the feedback doesn't just end with one person. The report doesn't end with one person, but for every person that is tied to his or activities is tied to the warehouse must have a report that synchronizes every department. So with this, I can decide, to process some of the orders that I come across. I begin to understand the total mispicks, mispacks, total orders fulfilled, the hours to measure the efficiency of staff, the orders shipped on time, and much, much, much more. This can only be achieved by what? By reporting. So, tips for improving your warehouse management. What are some of the tips? Who can give me some of the tips to improving our warehouse management? We have seen the 8 processes. Reporting is there, slotting is there, right? Packaging is there, picking is there. Now, what are some of the tips? If you are a warehouse manager, if you are a warehouse consultant, what will you advise a warehouse manager, an upcoming manager, on the tips to having an effective, efficient, and functional warehouse management? Anybody? Anybody? Your time starts now.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. The floor is
My
yours.
name is
Akan name.
Yes. Please, I think I don't know if it relates to this, but I think one of the tips is arranging drugs based on expiry and having first expiry, first out.
Okay. Yes, you are correct. One of the tips is the application of LIFO and FIFO, right? The drugs, let me use your department, the drugs that came in first and the drugs that came in last, which should go out to the public space first. For you to determine that, a lot has to be put into consideration, right? You've just received an order for maybe 20 cartons of drugs, and the expiry date for those drugs received in 2024, the expiry date is 2026, just 2 years. And then you received orders, let's say January 2023, and the expiry date is 2029. You can now see that is no longer the application of first in, first out, but it is last in, last out because of what? The expiry date. So that is also a tip. Arranging your product based on the lifespan of that product. Thank you. Any other person? Blessing is not saying anything. Eh?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Edewo.
Yeah, so like you mentioned, of course, the first expiry, first out is very key.
Yes.
So the other thing you can do, tips for warehouse management, is for you to sectionalize the products that you have on the shelf. First of all, you should also have pallet shelves that should be able to carry these products, and you also sectionalize it so that probably during pick and pack process and the rest, you're not searching all about looking for a product. You already know where the section of that product is, and you just go there, you pick it up, and it makes your work
Absolutely.
easier and saves time.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's just like deploying some of these codes that is used in the military or in the forces. You can, Alpha Nancy, India Echo, Bravo, you know. So when you tell me India, I know exactly the section of where the product is. You say Alpha, I know where the product is, the product section is. You say Nancy is not the name of somebody. You are not calling anybody. You just say Nancy. I know where the section of that product is. So sectionalizing the department, the warehouse, gives you, a free operation that at glance you are able to know where a particular product is being shelved. Not walking around, hey, where is this? I can't remember. Where is it? Hey, where can we find it? We begin to deploy the whole organization members to enter the warehouse and search for products. No, this can be avoided when we have sectionalities of the warehouse. Thank you very much for that. Any other person? Any other person? Shalom, Ife, Eric, Blessing. I hope we are not observers.
Yeah,
Are we
I
local
want
or international observers?
we
Let me
are
know.
not observers, we are participants.
You are participants. Make your voice known.
All right. When you are actually managing a warehouse, you should be able to take note of items that are heavy and items that are light. All heavy items should be arranged in such a way that they are closer to the ground, and light items up, to avoid collapse of your warehouse.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Heavy items on the floor or closer to the floor, the lighter ones can be what can be up to avoid collapse. If an heavy item is placed up and it for whatever reason it breaks the shelf, collapses on someone, of course the company will pay for damages. But if maybe very light, it just fell and nothing, no bruises, no scratches and all that, it can be repackaged. So that is also a tip toward having an improved warehouse management system. Any other person? Thank you very much for your input. Yes, Shalom.
Yes, sir. What I want to add is training of staffs to keep them updated with the latest trend on how to operate in warehouses more effectively and efficiently. And then, of course, putting safety measures in place for both the staffs and some of the goods.
Okay, thank you. That is also what a very good tip, a very good one, because we are talking about human capital management, human resource management. If your warehouse manager is not up to date with what is happening in the 21st century as regards to warehouse management, he's still living in Stone Age. He's still living in Stone Age. How do you employ somebody that cannot even make use of computer? He cannot even type to even say, okay, you have the document. Can you just input it in your system and just have the soft copy? He doesn't have the technical know-how. How do you keep such a person in the warehouse? And you think that you will function, the organization will function? No way. Now, the person must be trained with the softwares that is, in use to make the work more efficient, stress-free. That at every point in time I need any information, at his fingertips, he knows exactly what is obtainable in the warehouse. It is very important that they must be what? They must be trained. And more so, putting safety measures on ground. It is one thing to be a warehouse manager, is another thing for you to imbibe safety culture. Safety culture. The organization also has a mandate to ensuring that everyone within the vicinity, the facility, are safe. So within the warehouse, what are some of the safety, safety gadgets that we can have in case of emergency? What can he do? In case of fire, what can he do? In case of collapse, what can he do? In case of any accident, no matter how little or how, large it might be, what will the manager do? Is he trained on how to administer first aid, how to administer CPR? Is he trained on how to fight fire pending when the professionals come on board? What level of training has he gotten? These are some of the tips that we can have and then run a functional warehouse. Thank you very much for all
Hello.
our input.
Hello. Before we go,
Hello,
can I just add one tip?
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, one other important tips we need to have in mind is preventive maintenance, preservation. What do I mean by preservation? There are some materials before you send it to the end users. From time to time, you must check them to ensure that they are okay, so that you'll be able to carry out preventive preservation on those equipments before you push them out of the warehouse. Thank you.
Well spoken. Thank you very much. Preventive maintenance is also a key tip for what? Warehouse maintenance or management. It gives you an insight to up-to-date position of the product. Can this product still go out? If it stays in the next 1 week, what becomes of the product? Before it gets spoiled, what can we do to remedy the situation so that the value is still placed on it? That is preventive maintenance. You do not wait until it gets out of hand, it spoils completely. You can also say that you are being proactive rather than being reactive. You are not waiting for it to happen. You have already made provision to curtail the situation so that it does not even happen. Eventually, even if it does, the impact, the effect will not be that much felt in the organization or in the warehouse. So preventive maintenance is very important. Okay, so one out of what we have mentioned, to add some, automate as much as possible. Automating operations like order processing, retrieval, or even some aspect of picking can speed up fulfillment and enable your workers to focus on tasks that really need human attention. There are certain items that should be what? Automated. Now, it's for like you go to maybe a supermarket and there's a particular product that you know you want to purchase. The price tag is not there, and you want to know how much it is, if you can afford it or not. With the automation, two things involved. It is either they just take the product, go to their machine and scan. Within a twinkle of an eye, they give you the amount for that product. Stress-free. You don't waste any time. Secondly, if they do not have such automation, what will they have to do? They go back to maybe call the accountant or whoever that is responsible. Can we have the invoices for the product? How much did we buy this product? How much did we say we are going to sell? They begin to open books, before you know, someone is sweating. Someone actually is not here, and let me check the other room. Maybe the document is kept there. That is what time consuming. Now, the time that particular staff would have used to attend to other customers, wasting it on you just to verify a particular price for a particular product. So automation is very key, it's very important. It saves time. It shows efficiency. That I come and within 5 seconds, 15 seconds, you are able to give me the price for the product, and then I go to another place and they are keeping me waiting for 2 hours just to come on. I won't go back there again. You may not even have the patience to wait. You just say, okay, don't worry, I'll come back, let me check something, and you are gone. Automation is important. Make sure safety is a priority. We have mentioned this before. Safety should be a priority. We should imbibe the safety culture, because any person that leaves his or her house to go to the workplace is going there with the mindset that as I am going, I will return to my abode in safe and good condition. So it behoves the management, the organization, to ensure that the safety of the staff, the safety of their customers is a priority to them. It is not negotiable. It is not negotiable. Everybody should understand safety is a responsibility of everyone. I don't need to say, okay, we have a safety manager, and then what's my business? And should be safety manager is there. What's my own? No, safety is the responsibility of everyone within the organization. Once we have this mentality, we will do everything possible to ensure that we are safe, that we ensure that we uphold that tenet, the policy. How do you leave your office? The lights are on, you come back the following day. What if there is an electrical spark? You left your fan still rolling, your AC still on. What if something happens? It shows that you don't have what safety, you know, you are not safety conscious, because in your mind, we have a facility manager, is his responsibility. No, it will affect you. If the building is raised down because of anyone's negligence, it affects everybody. Salary will not come. Why? We are not producing. Why? We are not selling. Why? No customer. So how are we going to pay your salary? So you now see that it doesn't only rub on you alone, it affects every other person consciously or unconsciously within the organization. So we need to ensure that safety becomes a lifestyle. Perform various inspections, regular warehouse inspection for cleanliness, for safety. Sometimes get into the warehouse unannounced. Go to the warehouse unannounced. When you tell the warehouse manager, we are coming for inspection in the next 3 weeks, he will put his house in order. Everything will be done just to impress you. But no, go to the house or go to the warehouse unannounced and see the true position of things for yourself. Inspection. Implement a warehouse control system. Implement a what? A warehouse controlling system. So you can decide to integrate, infusing the warehouse management system with your warehouse control system. The warehouse control system makes sure that material handling equipment and automation, such as conveyors, sorters, carousels, and scales, are working correctly and are getting inventory to the right location within a warehouse. Let there be that synergy. Nobody is working in isolation. No department work in isolation. The two must work together. Evaluate meaningful key performance index. By tracking the right key performance indicators, you can gain new insight into how your operations are performing, as well as how to optimize them for efficiency and cost. This thing has been kept here for the past 1 year. What is the usefulness? What is it contributing to the organization? It's just lying dormant, occupying space. What if we sell? How much are we going to make? When we sell out, we get more space in order to store more products. How is this thing doing? When you have an insight as to how this is done, you'll be able to optimize. You know if it is efficient, if it's costly to maintain. Why should we have this section unattended to? For the past 2 years, the products are intact. We are tying down our money. What should we do? The demand is not forthcoming. What should we do? Should we embark on promo? Buy two, get one free, just to empty the space. Don't forget the lifespan of that product is getting close. What if we decide to let it be and then everything gets expired and we throw away everything, we are not making any profit. It's not making any sense. So can we do buy two get one free promo? Can we rebrand if it will seek attention? Evaluating your key performance index. And then we talk about outsource to, a third party. You can decide to outsource your warehouse to a third party if you do not have the capacity for such. You can decide to collaborate with another person, sharing the expenses, bearing the risks. If you outsource, it means that the risks for the product totally borne by the third party. But if you are collaborating, it means that you are going to share in the case of risks. So you can decide to outsource if you do not have the capacity to, So the benefit of third party or lease warehouse management. Okay. Like we said, one of the benefits of third party is the fact that the risk is being borne by the third party. The third party. So because of warehouse processes are complicated and expensive, many brands choose to outsource the entire fulfillment process to a third-party logistics company, unlike an on-demand warehousing company that finds warehouse with excess space. So 3PLS run their own fulfillment centers and should have standardized warehouse management across. So what are we saying? I can decide Mr. Hassan has a warehouse, he's running a logistic company, and he has a very functional, coordinated, organized warehouse. I can decide to outsource it to him. Let's get into partnership. My product, once it arrives, is going to be taken to your warehouse. Okay? It's going to be taken what? To your warehouse. For example, Conga has a very massive warehouse. It is not only their product that is being kept in that warehouse. I think where they are in Lekki should be about, if not up to 4 plots of land, you have up to 3, or an acre of land. What they do is just to build what? Compacted warehouse. It is not only their product, like I said, that is there. Other companies within, Lekki and its environment, the island, they take their product, storing it in that place. What are they trying to do? We don't have the capacity, but somebody else does. Let us do what? Outsource it. So it takes you off the burden of, is my product safe? Hey, rain now that rain is falling. How am I sure that the rain will not touch it? Hey, security, I hope they will not steal my product. All of these negative thoughts is taken away from you because someone has decided to shoulder your challenges. Though it's not free, you are paying for it, but it makes more sense. So we talk about logistics, logistical optimization, some of the brands can be well optimized because they have over time gained the market share. So you can leverage on that and build your brand up. Okay? You can leverage on what they have done and consolidate on that. So multiple warehouse and larger geographical or geographic footprint. So when you run your own warehouse, you are only shipping from that one location. So partnering with a third-party logistics means you can store inventory in several of their fulfillment centers to keep inventory closer to more customers. So if you ship nationwide, it's a must you have warehouse coast to coast. Now, if I'm patronizing Mr. Hassan, who has a very good warehouse. And Mr. Hassan's warehouse is in Lagos, is in Abuja, is in Port Harcourt, is in Kano, is in Delta. Does it not make more sense to me that I have customers that have been struggling to get products in Lagos, that are based in Kaduna, or based in Kano, based in Kogi? What I need to do is just, Mr. Hassan, your warehouse in Kano, I want to use it. So that people within that geographical region can have access to my product instead of coming down to Lagos to have it. It is centralized. It is centralized. Why? Because Mr. Hassan has what? A larger geographic footprint. Huge time savings. Once I'm able to have a contractual agreement with Mr. Hassan, I can focus on other things. I can decide to run other businesses, knowing fully well that my products are in secured. Saves me the time of beginning to wonder, hey, please, can you go and check? Can you go and check? No. I know for Mr. Hassan to have such a warehouse, he has a functional insurance policy. In the event of risks, all we can do is to do what? Okay, it has happened, my insurance will write off. Or we can decide to say, okay, we can share, the losses 60-40, 70-30 based on agreement, right? So it saves me time from running pillar to post just to ensure that I get what I'm supposed to. Then we talk about better uses of warehouse space. I can decide to import as much as I want because I know he has his warehouse in Lagos. If I cannot put it in Lagos, I can, keep my product in Abuja. If I cannot keep in Abuja, Port Harcourt is there. If Port Harcourt is filled, Delta is there. If Delta is filled, Kano is there. I can decide to import as much as I want because the space is what is available for storage. Real-time insight. Real-time insight. So at every point in time, we know exactly what is happening. So just because you are not working inside the 3PL's warehouse doesn't mean you won't know what is happening. No. You have total control, total brief of what is happening per day. There is a comprehensive report, maybe daily or weekly or monthly or fortnightly. Anyhow, there is what a report. The report is to give you real-time insight as to what is happening within the warehouse space, right? So we talk about receiving, put away, stock, taking, replenishment, picking, packing, loading, dispatch, reporting. These are what? Warehouse management system. Warehouse management system. So keep optimum stock level. Keep optimum stock level. At every point in time, I know that holding excess stock is costly. As much as you are, you are projecting into the future, You are expectant. That is not an indication for you to overstock the warehouse. No, you should not overstock the warehouse, because once you do that, you are more or less like, you know, tying down your resources. You are tying down your resources. So to avoid this, you need to what? Keep optimum stock level. Only get what you know will be useful per time. We understand that we can procure based on the economic level. Oh, dollar is now 700. Oh yeah, buy as much as you can, oh, because in the next 1 week it can get up to 1,500. And you begin to procure as much as, because you are afraid that dollar will get up to 1,500. The question is, what if it doesn't? What if, as you are procuring this large quantity, there is no corresponding demand? What are you going to do? You tie down your money that could have been invested into a more productive or resultful investment, but it's tied down. You say, my goods are there, over 50 million naira. Over 15 million naira is just there. You are not optimizing your stock level. It's important to optimize your stock level. Process sales orders speedily. Every order that comes in must be processed as soon as possible. As soon as possible. It must be done in a swift and accurate manner, putting into consideration every detailed analysis that the order comes with. It will also help in enhancing your warehouse. Control the movement and storage of materials. You need to do what? Control the movement and storage of your material. Right? Process associated transactions efficiently. All transactions associated with the warehouse have to be processed efficiently for the supply chain to work well as a whole. An efficient warehouse management system can assist, helping you to process shipping, receiving, put away, picking, and pick phase replenishment. Just what we said before. So we say link warehouse management for sales order processing. The warehouse management must work in collaboration, in synergy with what the sales order department. What needs to be taken out should be taken out as soon as possible, processed, and then delivered. Why is warehouse management system needed? For efficiency, to improve efficiency, for proper control, proper monitoring, proper control. Align with the expectations, with the operations of the organization. That is why it is needed. We want to be as efficient as possible. We don't want a situation whereby somebody places an order, it takes 2 weeks to process. Why? Because This is what's needed. We talk about communication between warehouse and customer service is what is disconnected. Why? Why is communication between the warehouse and the customer service disconnected? Why? Warehouse productivity is low because processes are inefficient. Why? Your customer service suffers from errors and delayed shipments. Why? You manage warehouse to store inventory or use third-party contract warehousing. Why? You have difficulty knowing where goods are for order fulfillment. Why? No visibility into warehouse operations, efficiency, and productivity. Why? The why can be answered to be that there is no functional there will be delays, inefficiency. Nobody knows where a particular good is. Nobody knows what order came in, who is processing the order. Nobody knows. This is the question, the challenges, the issues that you'll be faced with if such is what mismanaged. We talk about transport management. Transport management. How you are able to manage your transport system in order to optimize the result within the supply chain, within the operations of the organization. So, effective transportation planning encompasses all the supply chain processes from selecting the right supplier right through to invoice processing. A key function of any logistic company is to maximize profitability by optimizing this transport management system. An example of a functional transport management, transport management is God is Good Motors. They are profit oriented, but at the same time, customer oriented. Because it is through customer, orientation that you can have profitability, right? So it is uncommon for transport to account for over half of companies' overall costs. Typically, the specific areas include planning the logistics network, analyze or analysis of the flow of goods along the supply chain, transport order management, transportation and freight cost analysis. For you to meet up with what is obtainable, you need to put this into consideration. You plan your logistical network. We have route A, B, and C, which is most appropriate. Why should we take route A to get into our customers? Why should we take route B? Why should we set out on time? Which is most cost effective? Can I outsource it or we can use what we've got? Analyzing the flow of goods along the supply chain. What is the direction that the goods is to be dispatched? What is the direction? How do we get there? What will it cost us to get there? What if, it's just like I'll say it's like common sense, though it may not be common. You are in a particular location, let's say I'm in Lagos, Mr. Usman is in Port Harcourt. and there's a product that I'm supposed to deliver to him. What will it cost me if I'm to drive my car from Lagos to Port Harcourt? How much fuel am I going to buy? What about the risks on the road in this time of insecurity? What about the stress? What about the time that is going to be consumed? On the other hand, okay, all these good motors goes to Port Harcourt. What if I decide to use their logistics company? How much will it cost? For me to buy fuel, drive down from Lagos to Port Harcourt, it will be almost the whole day. I'm going to buy fuel as much as to and fro. I can buy fuel for about maybe 150,000 naira. But do you know that I cannot even spend up to 30,000 naira sending this thing through God is good logistics? Is that not common sense? So we begin to analyze the cost implication as far as the supply chain is concerned, right? We begin to analyze, is it okay? What kind of transportation system can we use? Okay, so we look at the functions of a transport management system. Just like we talked about warehouse management and warehouse management system, we are talking about the application of technology in helping the transportation system to be more efficient. Right? To be more efficient. An effective TMS benefit both shippers and logistics service providers. The main user of the software include manufacturers, distributors, wholesalers, retailers, and e-commerce organizations. Why? Because they want to ensure that their products get to the right destination on time. It gets to the right destination on time. Transport management platform provides digital support for logistics processes and a vital element of a business supply chain management system. So with effective use, businesses can control, automate, and optimize the daily operations of their vehicle fleet. Like I said, I don't need to call, hey, Mr. Hassan, where are you? You are supposed to have gotten to Ore. You are supposed to have gotten to Bini by now. Where are you? I don't need to do all of that if we have a functional transport management system. I don't need to do that. In the comfort of my office, I can view and analyze everything that transpired within that scope of journey. I can monitor the speed limit. I can put a call through to the customers to get feedbacks from them.
See you on Monday.
I know how many times you stopped. I know I can hear the way you responded to the customers in the car or in the bus. All of this can only be achieved when we are able to operate with the softwares. So the solutions are designed to increase the transparency of transportation operations. It is not we are not doing this so that we can monitor you, or we don't want to give you breathing space at all. No. We just want transparency. That if you said you just reached Benin and we just checked the software, it tells us the exact time that you got in there. It tells us how many times you bought fuel. So it ensures effective use of resources. You won't tell me that the car broke down 10 times before you got to Port Harcourt. You have spent over 300,000 to fix tires. No. I know how many times it broke down. We can see it from here. We know how many times, how much you gave, at the checkpoint. We can see it. Comprehensively evaluate current operating conditions. Are we on the right track? Are we doing what we are supposed to do? Are we abiding by the guidelines that is obtainable in the industry? Right? That is the reason why this is what is designed. It also helps us to have, our information stored for future references, for future use. I can have a total control of how many times the car broke down within 1 month. Some of the challenges that we encountered within 1 month. How much fuel we bought within 1 month. What were the repairs, the maintenance that was carried out within 1 month? Concerning the drivers, how many of them broke down health-wise within 1 month? It gives me up-to-date information, and we can store it for future purposes. This particular car, this particular bus, within the last 3 months, it broke down about 5 times. Something is wrong somewhere. What can we do? Should we sell it off and procure another one? Can we stop using it for long distance journey and then use it for short distance journey? The information gathered can aid our decision making in terms of operations. The advantages of a transportation management system. Anybody, please, the advantages of a transportation management system. Anybody, quickly. Briefly, we've got about 10 minutes to go, but we sure must cover these slides. Anybody, advantages? Advantages. Anybody? Advantages of a transportation management system.
It lead to quick delivering of goods
Okay.
to end users.
It leads to what? Quick delivery of goods to end users. Because we can fast track operations, activities, and know what is happening. We can speed up our operations based on the reports that we are getting. Thank you very much. Any other person?
More efficient systems. More efficient
We are
delivery
more
systems.
efficient in our delivery of goods and services. Thank you. Any other person?
It helps to save
Of
costs
course.
as well.
Cost savings. Yes, it's part of the advantages. Thank you. Any other person? Is that all? It improves business operations and provides better services to customers. Just like one of the speaker had mentioned, right? Lower what? Freight costs, shipment tracking. I don't need to be calling Mr. Hassan. Hey, where are you? Where is my goods? So where is my goods? So I hope you have not sent it to the wrong destination. I hope this. I can just sit down and track it. I know where it is. When it arrived Nigeria, when it left the port, when it got to my destination. I can track it. I don't need to call anybody. I don't need to go and announce or be making noise up and down. No. Enhance customer service because we are efficient, right? We are conscious of time management. We are swift in our operations, in our dealings, in our delivery, in our processes of what? Of orders from the customers. So it enhances customers, service. The customers in turn are happy because of what? The way we treat them. More efficient good receipt. We have all the documents as far as the good is concerned. It is not go and write, oh yeah, use TPEX, oh yeah, correct it. No, everything is done following due process. We are not, going through the back doors. We are not doing anything fishy. We are doing what is obtainable, operating based on laid down rules and regulations, ethics in the business. So these are some of the benefits. This is someone tracking. This is the vehicle. It can tell you where the vehicle is, just like you making use of Uber. The Uber man will tell you, I'm almost at your gate, but with your mobile device, you can know exactly how many streets is away from your gate. Right? That is one of the okay. We mentioned that it improves what? Efficiency. It's one of the advantages. Better customer service, compliance and safety. We need to comply with industry best practices. Industry best practices. What are some of the compliance rules that we need to adhere to? It helps us to achieve that. Data-driven decision. We have informed decision as a result of the data analytics that is in real time. Data analytics in real time. We can base our decisions on that. We are not waiting for 2 weeks decision or 2 weeks data to say, don't worry, we'll decide in 2 weeks time. No, based on what we have, we are taking our decision. How to choose the right transportation management system for your business. How to choose. First and foremost, you talk about scalability. Scalability determines how well the system can adapt to changes in the volume and complexity of your transportation needs. Right? Scalability. If I have a software, for example, that is able to accommodate information for maybe about 1,500 customers, does that same software, can it be expanded to accommodate 10,000? Does it have the scalability to accommodate 10,000 in case of expansion, or I will need to do what? Deploy another software? Does it have the capacity that if peradventure I have up to 20,000 customers, can it absorb the 20,000 without necessarily me having to go and deploy another software? So we need to, the scalability of it, right? Scalable transportation management system will handle increasing shipment and route as well as multimodal transport, multi-party shipping, and global logistics. They have the capacity, they can absorb any kind of, okay, Mr. Azan has a transportation company, but it's only focused in Nigeria. And then I have another transportation company that goes to regional areas. He can get to Ghana, all African countries, get to Europe. Why will I now choose Mr. Azan when I have a very scalable transportation system that can accommodate my need at the same time? That is one of the important factors to consider. Integration. How well will the transportation system integrate, with what our operations is? So the TSM software should integrate with other softwares and systems you use, such as your enterprise resource planning or warehouse management system, to ensure that data is seamlessly shared across functions and what geographic locations, that processes are what automated. So integration improves efficiency, reduces errors, and provides better visibility into your supply chain operations. For example, what we are doing right now, we are scattered all over Nigeria and outside Nigeria, but Zoom is able to bring us together. The software that is deployed called Zoom is able to accommodate every one of us. We are integrated. Now, the way we are talking, it feels we are seeing each other. We are together. What integration is all about. User friendliness. The transportation management system should be easy to navigate. It should not be ambiguous. It should be easy for people that are assigned with the responsibilities to be able to navigate without stress. It should not be cumbersome, difficult. No, it should be what? User friendly. It should also be eco-friendly. It should not be harmful to people working within the organization and people working outside the organization. The cost is very important. What is the cost implication? Can we shoulder this cost? If we deploy it, how well will it generate more profit to the organization? Will it just be that we are wasting time and all of that? So transportation management system should be cost effective and offer a good return on investment. If I'm investing in this, what is the return on investment that we are looking out for? We are not throwing money just anyhow because we have money or because we are desperate to having software. Hence, we can just decide to no. You count the cost as well. Okay. So how useful is transportation management system? It is very useful, in tracking, monitoring the progress, of every activity that is ongoing. We talk about efficiency. With it, we can be sure of efficiency, right? We can be sure of profitability. We can be sure of effectiveness. We can be sure of effective utilization of resources. We can be sure of effective use of human, development. So this brings us to that. Okay. So one must also acknowledge the positive environmental impacts on transport management system. Like we said, trying to understand the route that is to be taken, the fuel consumption, emission benefits, both organization and the society at large. If we are going on a long distance journey, do we have the capacity? Are the vehicles on, in good shape? What is the cost of fuel that will be deployed or diesel for this long distance journey? Can it be outsourced? and what have you. So, with effective management of the software, we are able to optimize that. So, overall, the utility of TMS cannot be overstated. From cost savings and improve efficiency to enhance visibility and environmental benefits, organizations that deploy TMS gain a competitive edge in the fast-paced and demanding world of logistics and supply chain management. So, if you want to have a competitive edge, why are people running to DHL? Because they've created a niche for themselves. Why are people running to UPS? They've created a need for themselves. Why are people running to FedEx? They've created a niche for themselves. They build that competitive edge around them and they deploy everything possible to maintain and retain customers the best possible way that they can. So it helps you to be more visible within the organization. So, 7 ways to improve your supply chain sustainability. Find the current pain point of your supply chain. Optimize transportation. Collaborate with sustainable suppliers. Minimize inventory. Reduce waste as much as possible. You can decide to use Lean Six Sigma. Lean Six Sigma. This is an application that helps you to do what? Eradicate waste. It shows you where waste is located and how you can work against it and get your result. Use environmentally friendly packaging materials, nudge regulators and consumers. Nudge regulators and consumers. Any contribution to this, please? Any contributions? How will this be applicable to you? For the past 4 weeks, you have been present, you have been contributing. How will this be useful to you as an individual? How will this be useful to you in your organization? I want just 3 people to speak on this. Let us know if your coming was a waste or it will be useful to you as you move along the line. Just 3 people before we draw the curtain for today. Blessing Asuko, number 1. Dr. Julie, okay. Blessing Asuko, number 1. Oh yeah, let's hear from you. I'm sure she's not in the building. I'm very sure of that. Okay, let's hear from any other person. Blessing doesn't want to speak. Any other person?
Yeah, good evening, sir. So
Good
let me
evening.
speak. Yeah,
Yes,
so
please go ahead.
so it's been a wholesome course so far. Like today's the last class for this course. It's something I've always wanted to do because of the nature of my job, and I'm truly grateful this opportunity came for me to have this course done. I knew I looked for a course in this line for close to 2 years just to get something.
Okay, we can't hear you anymore.
Sorry, a call interrupted my network. So um
Okay.
I'll call you back. Yeah, so it is really something wholesome for me that I've gained a lot of insight into logistics management better than I do before now. Yeah, so it's very beneficial for me, and I know it will help me going forward, even in my operations in my workplace. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Any other person? Any other person? Okay, so it's just one person that is giving us feedback. Well, if that is the case, I beg to draw the curtain for today. Thank you very
Well,
much.
hello.
Okay, sir, go ahead.
Thank you very much. It's a kind of high opener, and the course made me to understand that I need to do things differently because yeah, I was working before in my organization. I've been in production, manage production oil, crude oil, but I've been drafted to the project warehouse for almost 2 years now. I think from this training or from this course, I think I should be able to know my right, from my left. And it's a high opener for me. And I think I should be able to do more as a leader in respect of safety and some other things. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, sir. Thank you very much for participating as well. The last person to speak on this, any other person? The last speaker. Let's have a feedback.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shalom Holland. I'm a laboratory scientist. And then in the course of my work, there are a lot of times that I will need to take inventory, and then taking inventory in order to avoid stock out. And then even the FIFO that was mentioned today, we usually put those things into consideration. And then sometimes we do order from central medical store, which is the warehouse, but for medical related stuffs. And sometimes we encounter a lot of challenges, but to God be the glory, this course has actually opened my eyes. Sometimes if we get to the warehouse, we experience delay, but this course had actually made me understand that there is a cascade that needs to be followed so that things will be done appropriately and things should be documented as it should. And then the course has actually opened my eyes to a lot of things. And I believe that going forward, I will be more professional, and then I will tend to do things more better in terms of logistics, management, and supply. So thank you very much for your time. Indeed, we have tapped from your wealth of experience. May God bless you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so very much for that. I quite appreciate it. Shows that our effort is not in futility. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It was nice having you. At least this is my second class with you. The first I did, the last I did. My other facilitator took the second and the third. Thank you very much for your time. To you, MJB, thank you very much. We quite appreciate. Over to you, please.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Friday. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. To our wonderful participants, we are so grateful. When MJB came online, we thought it will, we expected growth. And there's no how we'll grow without people like you, wonderful participants like you. We are so grateful. We thank you so much for the time. The 4 Saturdays that you spend together, getting to know one or two things. I really appreciate you so much. And for your certificates, you get them 2 weeks from today. You get them 14 working days. You get them 2 weeks from today. As today is Saturday, so let's see from Monday it will start be on transit. We'll send them on transit. So be en route to your various locations. Thank you so much. We have a lot of courses coming up. Some you may be interested, some you may not be interested. Now for Saturday, for the next one that is starting next Saturday will be the supply chain management. The other part of we have logistics and supply chain management. So we just finished logistic management, which is today. Next Saturday we are starting supply chain management. Also, we are having another course, especially for doctors and pharmacists. We we are having a professional diploma in caregiving. That one too is next week. So everything will be on the platform. So if you are interested, you can contact the management. I saw a chat just now. Someone asked for the online. For the online, you get it 7 days for your online certificate. 7 days from today, 7 working days. Then for the hard copy, you have your hard copy 14 working days. Thank you so much. I remain blessed. Have a wonderful night rest and a blessed week ahead. Bye for now.
Okay, hello.
Yes, sir. Go on, sir.
Okay, I think I'm going to send you the names the way my name should be written in my certificate so that
Yes. We will ask for that. Since you
yes.
will ask for all the details. So
Okay.
you will ask for that. You will put them on the platform. Not to worry, sir. Not
Okay.
to worry. So we'll put everything. Then when you thank God you are in the group, right? So everything
Sure.
you see, the way your name is set, however you want it to be, that is how you will have it. Thank you so
Okay.
much,
Thank
sir.
you. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yes,
Bye.
okay, sir. There's another question from a devil. He said, is there a general group for the caregiving? Yes, sir. There is. There is a general group for the caregiving. And I'll add you. If you have not been added, I will add you so that you can see. Anybody that is interested, I'll add you to the group so you can see. We are starting on Friday. It's going to be wonderful. We have the specialists. It's going to be wonderful. Practical. You're going to see everything, how it's done. So if you're interested, you can contact the management. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Okay.